Here we are. We're back. We're back, and we're looking fine. And we're back.
Hello.
Back.
Yes.
Yes, indeedy.
We in crew jackets today.
We are.
Sticking crew.
We're a crew.
We're not from Brooklyn. Just appreciate you.
Yeah. I got Toby and I matching track jackets because we're awesome.
Track stars.
Check. Hey, okay. So I probably just needed to turn my mic around. That changed a lot for
now
me.
You're killing it.
Yeah, okay. So I'm happy with this again. All right.
I'm gonna have to lean in now a lot.
What if your mics should be turned around as well?
No, I got my gold button that shows me.
Okay. Weird. Well, yeah, we're back after a while. A little bit of a hiatus. And that, that's just from... We're sorry for you guys on, like, iTunes that have been listening to us because we haven't put one up in a while on the podcast app. And I'm sorry about that. We tried an experiment of doing these, like, live, on like, straight to YouTube. And to be honest, I got a little lazy, guys. And I'm sorry. Really needed a kick in my ass to get this shit going the way it needs to be. So I apologize to you, and I will be a lot better about it. Because at this point, don't have a choice.
Yeah.
We gotta... The shit we've been doing hasn't been working, so now we've got to...
Try everything.
Yeah, we gotta try everything, make it right. We gotta make this shit work for us, you know what I'm saying?
Well, a long overdue welcome back.
Yeah, for sure.
To Toby, a drink and a joint with Toby and David.
Toby.
Dave.
Face tat. Look at his fucking face tat. He got a fucking face tattoo.
I took time off, and
yeah.
things have changed.
Things done changed, but we still the same.
Yeah.
We're really, like, we've got some exciting things to tell you today. This is a great episode of A Drink and a Joint because it's a bit shorter, and we're not going to be doing our usual kind of topic. It will be topics, but not quite in the same vein that we've been in before. Yeah, we've been figuring some shit out, been going through some shit.
Yeah, I'm working on a lot of different stuff. Trying to get it there.
Yeah.
Oof. Well, today on Drink and Joint, we have a little bit of Crown Royal.
Yeah. That's
bomb, as always. What you got to smoke, Dave?
Oh, I think we're smoking some Trainwreck.
Some Trainwreck, okay. This is a good classic combination.
Yeah.
Man.
Crown Royal and your Trainwreck. It's
will
like
ruin your
peanut
day
butter
or find your wife that night. You never know.
Yeah. It's like peanut butter and Crown Royal.
Yeah, see, Crown Royal is always the jelly.
Yeah, there's never not a moment where your Crown Royal is not your jelly.
Go ahead and crack this bitch.
Hubba-dow.
That's cracked the seal yet.
I've realized that's a catchphrase, Toby. It's got to go on a t-shirt. Hubba-dow.
Hubba-dow.
I do that a lot, it seems.
Yeah, start coining your phrases.
Yeah, coined phrase. Hubba-dow.
Yeah. Oh, I love these bags.
Oh, he's opening up the soft velvet, the velvet cocoon.
As her shoulders peek under the soft.
Her purple velvet dress glistened in the moonlight like a cheap date in Chinatown.
Whoa! They were pretty shiny, I guess.
So we're going to be drinking some Crown Royal. We're going to be smoking a little bit of Trainwreck, and we're going to be talking about some topics. Just going to be getting to the meat of it because there's some things going on, guys, that we have to talk about. And I'm really just waiting on the go ahead from Toby because we have to do news first. We're sticking to that aspect of it. We still have to do news. So, and Toby had some news stories, I thought.
Oh, no, you said you had news.
You said you had news. Oh, no.
Sticking to it. Sticking to it like glue. I'll read the news.
All right, what you got? What's the first one that pops up?
All right. Hey, you want to pour our drinks for us?
Yeah, sure. How much you want?
Like half.
Half of it full of this? You know we still have to do a Let's Play after this.
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
Oh my god. I'm gonna be doing a Let's Play with the drunkest Toby.
We'll get there.
We change, but some things always stay the same. Like put a bottle of whiskey around Toby, he gonna
drink
sip it up.
Okay, so I don't know. Here, I wish I could hold a poll.
That's all
I don't
I
really
can, like, in my right mind, give you for a first drink.
Okay, sure.
It's like, I'm not an enabler, but I like to have a good time.
Yeah. Is that the same thing?
Being an enabler and having a good time? No, absolutely not. Have I ever enabled your bad habits? Don't answer that.
I wouldn't say. No. Dude, the news sucks.
The news. You're supposed to just read one, and then we'll discuss it. Just read one. Just pick one.
This is just random.
It's rando.
All right, so let's see. The Leland Stanford Junior University Marching Band has a history of trolling President Trump. So it was more likely that the donating of Space Force suit by one of its musicians to the Stanford Cardinal home opening NCAA season game against San Diego State Aztecs on Friday was tended to be ironic. So it was like a dude wearing a Space Force jacket, but it's like it kind of looks like that 80s.
Yeah, like almost like the Santa Cruz logo, almost. No,
yeah,
okay.
a little bit.
Yeah, it's just a little
It's just
picture.
stupid,
It's stupid. But it is crazy. It's also crazy that we have a Space Force now.
Yes.
That's a real thing, guys. That's real now. We live in the fucking future. Is it bleak? I don't know.
So, yeah, this story is just apparently about how his campaign manager said that he loved it and they were promoting it, and then it was unclear if they were trolling him or not, and he didn't realize. So Trump proposed that, you know, he saw that they were making fun of him and got pissed, of course, like he does with everything. And yeah, see, this is just people attacking each other, just saying that the school hates the president, stuff like that.
Oh,
it's
God.
not a compliment, and just a ton. This is our world now. We're just tweeting each other hateful shit back and forth.
Guys, come on now.
Space Force.
Just, you can't let things like this get in the way of living your life. You can't give this much of a shit about things.
Man.
You just can't. You're gonna get an ulcer. You're gonna clog some arteries.
Like, so they have a history, apparently, of getting at him and a lot of different presidents and stuff like that. And they wrote this, like, spoof cease and desist letter demanding Trump to stop using its fight song, All Right Now, by 70s rock band Free, at his political rallies. Apparently he was using their
all right now,
okay,
baby, it's all right now.
Yeah, which they said it was their fight song, and they said it was
That's
offensive.
not
that
a good.
Donald Trump was using it.
Oh man!
But apparently this was a fake one.
Well,
but that's pretty
guys.
funny. I like they're just trolling. They're just having fun. Like,
well, that's all well and good. Like, if you can't laugh at yourself, that's one thing that like. You gotta learn, folks, that
we're all pretty funny and goofy looking when you think about it. Like,
human beings are
if you
fucking
start from nothing, we're pretty weird looking.
Exactly. We got everything's fucking DNA in us. Like, we're just a hodgepodge of everything on the planet. So,
and it's funny.
It's funny, guys.
Laugh at it.
We make up some stupid shit. Like, if we weren't here, none of this shit would exist, and none of it would make any sense. You know what I mean? Things only had, like, what was it? I forget what I was watching. But like somebody said a word, and he's like, that's made up. And he's like, every word is made up. And it's true.
Perfect answer. God. Dude, it is weird reading the news, 'cause it's like back and forth between like like 8 dead in Syria. It's like, what's new on Hulu this week? Like, can you at least stay consistent with me?
Yeah, right. Let's get an image flow.
I don't really know what I want or expect from the news. You know.
Well, it's just like none of them. They know that they don't like. Anyway, that's nice. They know that they're not reporting on the proper things. Yeah. They know that they give
Is that
attention
the responsibility of the media? Is a good question, right? Is that their job to tell us the truth, or is their job to entertain us? Because media really is just a shtick.
Yeah, I understand that when it comes down to it, you know, but I really like to think that the news began to actually convey information instead of to like satiate people's paranoia and
I've just always seen it as
fear.
A part of entertainment. Like, you know, they're really just trying to find
an ashtray.
Fun journalist stories, you know. Is more what it is to me. And what do journalists do to make the story? What does a good writer do? You know?
You juice it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just always saw it as entertainment, and I don't expect them to tell me anything real at all. I just expect them to entertain me for a moment.
So then what do you end up believing? Like when people tell you something, it's like, the stuff in that article you just read, it could have been... You know, it could have been bullshit. It could have just all been made up. Because what do you know? Right? So, like, to people in just like these...
I just don't believe anything necessarily. It's like, I'm not sure. I'm absolutely
about
not sure.
anything.
I like to consider a lot of things, but no.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't tell you one way or
I
the
will
other.
consider it.
Yeah.
I bet you know. ...
Rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a believer. I just like being here and...
Believer.
You know?
Believer.
Yeah. And then I saw her face and still not.
Yeah. Well, let's catch up a little bit. That was the news. Good job for the news. We'll give you a little golf clap for the news. That was pulled that out of your ass. That was good. I just recently got back from a trip to Canada with my wife, where we spent 9 days there. First off, we went and we stopped in Manhattan. We had a layover at LaGuardia.
Yeah, so
we had like an 8-hour layover, and we decided to go into Manhattan for like 4 hours or so. And that was the best part of the trip. The entire 9 days was the first part of the first day.
Yeah.
Like it was just shit after that. But Manhattan was awesome. Bought my wife a dress at a place called Free People. It was like this swanky fucking dressery in not Times Square, but on in Rockefeller Center.
Yeah.
And that was cool to be able to go and see like the giant gold cherub or whatever it is right outside there that they always showed on 30 Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to like send you a video of me going pow 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 pow.
I would have died, dude. I would have died.
But that was a lot of fun to like, because I'd been to Manhattan before and I fucking love it there. I completely understand why people from all over the world are drawn there. I understand why it's like the capital of the world, because it's just like you get there and you feel that shit. You just like, you feel in it, especially if you're like, if you enjoy being in cities like that, it just kind of like swallows you up and is like, you like it here.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I like it here. It's nice. And I really enjoy musical theater. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, dude.
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan. And then so we were in Manhattan for a while and had a good time. We walked around and filmed some things, and that'll be going up on our channel, my wife and I's channel soon, called That Dready Couple. So go check that out.
Y'all film walking around, seeing some cool stuff.
Yeah, we shot a video for the whole trip, and I'm gonna start editing that soon.
You're scrapbooking.
Yeah, and we're also gonna make a video about how we're losing the weight we gained on the trip. Because I gained like 10 pounds. We ate a bunch of cake.
Nice. That's the life, I guess. I've always been sick of cake, though.
Yeah, but we left New York, and it was just like, Manhattan was so cool. I fucking love it there. We gotta go. We gotta take a trip. We gotta take the four of us and just. It's only like a 13-hour drive.
It's
like
rent an RV and just go camping.
You want to go? I like camping in New York City. or camping outside of it.
And let's go be hum bums
yeah.
a week and a half.
Yeah. Easy to do there. Easy to do there.
You gotta move every 6 hours?
Yeah.
It's fine.
If you can.
5-hour nap.
If you can move. There's so much. It's better just to walk everywhere. But that would have been the cool thing about us moving to Poughkeepsie. So we've talked about, because we got to move. We're like the four of us. We're gonna move soon.
Just gotta get on to a new place.
Yeah. And so we threw around the idea of Poughkeepsie, New York, which is about 2 hours north of Manhattan. But there's a commuter train that runs like 9 times every day from Poughkeepsie to Manhattan for like $27.
I still like that city outside of Portland.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I love that part of the world, you know.
For sure.
I feel like that would be just beautiful.
Well, no, like I'm down. Let's do it. So now the idea is
the idea of Portland too,
outside of Portland.
Yeah. I feel like they have a good scene going on.
Yeah.
I think they like us a lot.
So like our thing is we need to be close enough to some sort of major city where we can make things happen for ourselves.
And far enough away to stay sane.
Yeah, far enough away from here to stay sane, because we've never been good at
away from the cities.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, that, and we need it to be cheaper, and we're gonna because we're trying to buy a house with some fucking land, because between us we've got 4 dogs and 4 cats.
Yeah.
So we gotta have some land.
It's
Yeah.
fucking 16 people now. No, 12.
So this fucking I can't do math.
Yeah. Don't ever expect me to do quick math.
Yeah, I ain't doing quick math. I ain't doing simple math. We didn't drop out of school to keep doing math.
Perfectly said.
But we left New York, and we flew to Toronto from LaGuardia, and we missed our flight to Edmonton because the flight leaving LaGuardia was late, and there was no other. The flight after that one was booked solid, so and it was LaGuardia's fault. So the airline. I'm not gonna say the name, but it rhymes with Delta and WestJet, and they fucking suck. They're some of like the fucking scum of the earth. These people that just smile at you and tell you that that's all they can do when it's not.
That's the only bit of pleasure in their day. It's like they have such
getting
a
to tell people
job.
no.
Yeah. It's like that's the one time they're like, I'm in control for just a moment.
Yeah, but since LaGuardia fucked it up, basically the airline said that it wasn't their problem. Yeah. And they're like, we got you on the next flight in the morning, and we were like, well, are you going to give us a hotel room? Because usually they'll give you a hotel room, but they were like, no, it's not our fault, so no. We're like, so we're just supposed to what? And they're like, we don't care. And it's like, you want me to spit? You want me to spit on the floor right now?
That's your style, man. No,
people know you're serious when you spit on their feet.
What's in those clubs, you know, in the big airports, they'll have those, you'll hear like, tum, 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 and like a security guard in front of it. It's like, that's
like
where
at
people
their,
go.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's beds back there and fucking, cocktails.
But you have to you have to fly so many thousands of miles a year.
You have to be in their credit card club or their.
It's a club, yeah. It's really cool when you get to an airport and they've got a smoking lounge. Yeah. I eat that shit up.
Atlanta has one.
Yeah.
It's alright. It's kind of the saddest place in the airport, but...
Yeah. It's just that glass room, isn't it?
Yeah. No one wants to talk to each other, but you're crammed in there.
I talked to a really cool guy in one of them that ended up being he's like the guy who started like the World Chess Club, and he's like an old deadhead. And
the World Chess Club.
Yeah, there's like a World Chess Club, and like he was about to go down to Jamaica because he started one there.
Because they love chess.
I get.
It's a chill game.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and he was really cool. But anyways, we got fucked over by WestJet and Delta, and they refused to give us a room. So we took the tram from the airport to a surrounding hotel. And my wife had looked up the price for the room that they had, and it was like $130. And we were like, okay, that's not too bad for like we're gonna get like 6 or 7 hours of sleep. It'll be all right. We'll eat that. We'll eat the $130. But we get there, and the guy's like, ooh, those were American prices. It's actually $200. And we were like, no, because at that point it would have been like 4.5 hours, and we were like, not worth $200. And we were like, can we just chill in the lobby? And he was like, yeah, y'all can just chill in the lobby. but he didn't tell us that his shift was almost over. So when his shift ended, the next manager that came on was this like old crotchety like East Indian man. Like I was watching a video on my phone and just had my feet up on this couch, and Ivy was up getting ready to like chill, and like he walks up and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "What are you waiting on?" I was like, "I'm waiting on a flight."
Like, you to leave me alone.
Yeah. I was like, "I'm waiting on a flight," and he's like, "Well, you do that at the airport." I was like, "But what? Why are you talking to me like this?" And he's like, "This is not where you wait for a plane."
Why wouldn't he tell the guys like, "Oh, they're cool. They're about to leave."
Right.
A little bit.
Right. And when Ivy got down there, she was like, "Hey," she was like, "What? The other guy said that we could stay here. What's going on?" And he's like, "I revoke the permission." And we were like, you can't do that. You revoke you're going to say that. He's literally said, "I revoke the permission."
I do like him now.
Yeah.
His style of like, I don't care what that guy said. I'm in charge.
I revoke.
It's like no, I'm in charge of this crime. Saying, "Not anymore. You're not." That's what it is.
Yeah.
I revoke.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that.
So I don't.
Well, not in the situation.
In the situation, it was fucking awful because it was like midnight almost, and we're just we've already been through yelling at adults about things. So my wife finally like did the cry thing, the what if do you have a daughter, would you kick your daughter out, would you want someone to treat your daughter like this? She's really good at that, guilting people. It's a good trait. It's good to have on your side. It's good, like it's a good ammunition to have.
I'm not good at that at all. It's like, why would you feel bad for me? I don't feel bad for you.
But she did that, and he was like you can stay until like 2:30. And then like I was feeling uncomfortable. I was like, I just kind of want to go back to the airport because I don't feel welcome here. This is just weird now. And so she started crying again. And the guy comes over, and I was like, we're just like, I don't feel like sticking around here with this fucking asshole. And like, and he's like walking up, he's like, why do you say this? Why do you say this? And like, I was like, you're being an asshole, dude. And she just started crying, and I was like, bro, we don't feel welcome here. Like, this is upsetting because we just wanted to like chill somewhere safe for a few hours, and you're telling us that it's a security issue that we leave. Like, and he's like, no. He's like, you stay now. He's like, you can stay. He's like, you just stay. Yeah. He's like, you can stay. Just don't cry. Just stop crying. Yeah. Like, and so
that shit works.
We chilled and took a little nap, and then we got on our plane. And
God damn.
Yeah. But then we got to fucking Edmonton, and we thought it was supposed to be like, we went at the end of their summer, and it's supposed to be like 74 degrees the whole time and sunny, but we get up there and there's smoke from the wildfires in British Columbia just engulfing Edmonton. It's just covered in smoke. Like, you can barely walk outside. Like, 10 is like where they grade it where you shouldn't go outside. It was an 8. Like, and so we were sick. We were fucking surrounded by smoke. It rained, and it got immediately cold, like winter cold. Yeah, like it was fucked. So we had to go. We spent our entire vacation budget on winter jackets. Yeah, just so we could survive the 9 days in fucking Canada.
It was pretty close, and I was at close to one of the wildfires in Northern California. That one took over. You couldn't see a few feet in front of you. That one was thick. And that shit, that'll destroy your lungs. I mean, I'm a smoker, but
I got you a keychain.
Not all day long. Oh, nice.
It's made out of...
Dave's such a good friend, you guys.
Out of horn.
Why are you such a good friend?
It's a bison horn that someone carved an eagle into.
Awesome. That's the life right there. Yeah. Just cutting down bison and making keychains.
Yeah. One of the coolest things we did, we went to this place called Fort Edmonton Park, and it's like where their fort was, like when they settled Edmonton. Yeah. So it's like and what's weird about it is like, so you've got the fort is like the central point of the park, but then outside of it you've got these 3 streets, and one of them is like 1905. So it was like what life was like in 1905, and then it's 1920, and then there's like a 1930s street, and these are actually buildings that they salvaged from around Edmonton and brought back and put on these streets. Wow. So there are so many intricate intricate homes. There's even a fucking hotel that they broke down piece by piece, moved there, and rebuilt piece by piece. Like, it's a functioning hotel. You can stay there. Like, but to walk in and see all of the intricate tile work on the floor and, like, how these motherfuckers do this again. How they break it apart, clean it, bring it here, and put it back
and
down.
not mess up anything. No, that's pretty... They have a lot of time for... it's a historical... What are they? Provinces? What are they?
Yeah, they have provinces. That's instead of states.
Yeah. Okay. But Edmonton's smaller than that, right? It's a small little...
So yeah, it's a... So they say it like Edmonton, Alberta. So Edmonton is the city. Alberta is the province. Yeah, there's shit tons of cities. Like, they only have a few provinces.
Yeah.
So you've got like... Oh fuck! I'm not even gonna try to name them all right now. But there's just like a few down at the bottom, and then there's like the Yukon Territory, and then uncharted shit. So there's like a whole bunch of Canada that they're just like, we're not even gonna fuck.
I don't
with.
even care.
Yeah,
it's up there. It's just cold.
Yeah,
it's too cold, guys. But but no,
I don't want to go.
So I could still be an adventurer. I could technically be an adventurer still, but with some uncharted islands and some places. Yeah, North Pole probably is one.
Yeah.
Well, see, who wants to go all the way to the moon when there's uncharted shit right here too?
We know more about space than we do the ocean.
Yeah.
So. All right. So, Toby.
Yeah.
Toby, tell us.
Oh well, recently, while he was gone, especially, and some time before, I've just been hitting the music hard, and I go under Cushing. And I just released a few things on YouTube. I've been working through SoundCloud and iTunes, and I've just been getting terrible news all around the board because I've been trying to promote, and they're just shutting down promotion for people. Like, it's it's hip hop, R&B. There's some nicer sides of it, but it does get violent and dangerous at times, which I understand to an extent of why they wouldn't promote that freely. Right. But there should just be some degrees to it for people like us. Like, I put out one that I knew was going to get rejected, not just to see, and of course it did, and got sent back shocking content, and just looked into the details of what they expect to promote ads. This is through
so you
Google
use
ads,
that. So you use that as a basically like a tester, just to see what they would say the issues are.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I tried a different one. My cleanest song, no language, no violence. It's a love song, and it's a nice R&B kind of thing.
Is that Heartbeat?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's sweet. There's like not really anything. I'm not describing any dangerous situations or anything. Like, right. Just kind of, it's the sweetest side of me. And it's like I put that out, and they sent back shocking content. It's like I started looking a lot into a lot of people are getting shut down. There's been $1 million YouTube accounts that have been shut down and stuff for trying to promote it through AdWords and it having shocking content over and over again. And sometimes people will get through, and then they'll check it months later with a person if they get it flagged, and then they'll ban you if you keep doing that. Yeah. Which I get their purpose of trying to keep things family friendly is what it comes down to. They're trying to keep children and people that get offended by things from not seeing things that offends them. They want to keep their perception of YouTube how they want it, Right. Which is the whole idea. Is why it brings up things in your genre, things you search. It's why, and they're delving so much into what we search and using that to better promote ads, right? So if they're already doing that, why wouldn't they take that to the next degree and allow I'm not even saying to the degree of like porn or anything. I'm just saying adult content as like discussing drugs, using marijuana, drinking, sexual content, light sexual content. I'm not even going that far. So I'm saying, why shouldn't there be an avenue for people that aren't PG? Yeah. I'm just not finding out, and the more I read into like they don't like third-party advertising and stuff like that. Like SoundCloud will kick you off if they will find you and ban you if you use a third-party advertising. So they're really just kind of locking down the market of like, where are we supposed to go? Where are some people that that aren't PG supposed to?
Well, what specifically were they saying to you about your content? Before we get into like the big, I want to talk more about the.
they say shocking content, and I got a what was the other one? Maybe it was explicit or something. It was a different word, same kind of thing. But the shocking content goes really into describing scenes, like, because it's a trap song, so that it gets into like murder scene style thing. But I'm a poet. It's like I'm just working through the words. I like
you're
how
telling a
words
story.
match up. Yeah, I'm just describing a scene, and because the scene didn't depict the victim as the hero, was the reason that was shocking to them. It was because the killer was seen as the hero,
right?
Because it.
But even then, it's a computer algorithm that
that checks it first. It said. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if it draws a flag, maybe it goes to a person and they disapprove it, or if the computer just sees something like. There's also people like I see a lot of gamers go in and try to do some younger games and stuff like that, but they're really strict about violence. If it shows any blood, there can't be anything like that in it for promotion through AdWords. So and even about there's words that could be taken wrong, which I wonder about my name. I wonder if because Kush is in my name and it's obviously a drug reference.
Even then, is it obvious?
Name. It's not even necessarily that. Is the thing. So I don't know. I wonder where this is headed. I also want to know if anyone knows that there's loopholes, some easy way around this that I'm just not seeing. Am I not approaching it the right way?
Right.
But I've tried it. I had 4 disapproves in a day the other day.
That's crazy.
Just, there was nothing on them. I even tried editing one. It's like bleeps and stuff like that. It's suggestive content then.
But
so it's
what? Okay, so what the fuck?
They were not
straight
approved.
up.
I don't
So
know.
AdSense, you're fucking it up right now.
I don't know why it's leading toward this.
So Google AdSense or AdWords is the only way YouTubers can properly promote.
It's where the promote button leads, right?
Yeah. When you promote your channel, it takes you to Google AdSense or AdWords. So for people like us, we make mature content. That's what we do. That's like because we're
adults.
We don't want restrictions on what we say because we're patriots in the purest fucking way because we're gonna say whatever the fuck we want when we feel it. Like. And that's fucking patriotism.
And they can't hold you back. They can't hold you down from saying these things. People want to hear what you have to say sometimes.
And this isn't about YouTube because YouTube is still like an
they
even
allow
platform.
The content to stay up. See, YouTube is actually still being pretty decent about keeping adult content up and just that. The worst that'll happen is that they'll put it down and ask you to label it explicit.
Well, yeah, but we do that every time anyways, and that's why we always have a disclaimer before this show. You guys know what you're getting into with us.
You're 18, you make your own decisions.
And if you're a kid and you don't heed the warning, it's on you or your parents. It's not on us. Like, that's what a disclaimer's for.
And I just don't see how people without fans before these laws are like can easily boost up, I want everybody to have a chance to speak their mind, and not get in the way. I don't want people. I don't want the things that were supposed to help us to get in the way.
And it's super fucked up that they're it's super fucked up that they're telling us like because when you're going in to promote something, you like if you have explicit content, there's a place for you to check explicit that you are letting them know that it is explicit, mature content, and they still reject you.
And it goes into deeper categories. When you go into demographics, you can choose not to target parents and people of certain age groups and people that like certain things. So you can look into like, so a 65-year-old guy that was looking at a home shop or like hardware for his house or something, like I don't necessarily want to target him because I might offend him. Right. So I checked. I even went to that degree of going into my demographics, clicking out anyone I thought might get offended, and that still is not enough. And that was a clean song.
Why are we getting rejected?
And by the way, that was a clean song.
Yeah.
So what the hell?
If any of you know or work for AdWords or AdSense, like we know a guy who's a technician with them, and we're hopefully gonna have him on. But first, we're gonna have a meeting with him to see if there's any way around it, because it's bullshit that if we can go through and tell you who it's for and who it's not for, and like if it is explicit or not,
then it's
why?
not shocking.
It's not.
You avoid it
Because it's going to the people that can handle it. Like it's fucking ridiculous that we would still be denied. And if you're gonna go this far with it, AdSense or AdWords, if you're listening to this humble little podcast, if you're give us an alternative.
Yeah.
Give us. Okay, so you have the YouTube Kids app, you have the YouTube Music app. Make a mature YouTube app. Make a mature channel, like like a way that we can go in. Make a mature advertising subsidiary.
I think the kids one is enough. If you don't want that content, you shouldn't be. Maybe a secondary choice. I don't know. Maybe okay. I do see about the third. There should be a public one. Yeah, and then a kids and a mature possibly. But even I don't know. That's.
Well, I don't like that either.
It's segregating the material. Which
yeah,
is
for
weird.
sure. Like we are American.
If you don't like it, don't click on it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You vote with your view. Like if you don't like what you're watching, if you don't want someone to watch it, don't fucking watch it. Yeah. It's up to you. If you choose to watch something that offends you, it's your fault. It's your fault that you get offended.
Someone's gonna offend you. There's too many people in the world for you just not to be offended ever.
It's gonna happen.
So just avoid it.
Yeah. People are gonna ruffle your nuts. That's just the way it's gonna be. That's the way of the world. We live in a triggering world, and the best way to deal with it is to not give a shit.
Most people are not trying to do that, though. Most people are just trying to express their opinions, and not with no intention of offending anyone. Right.
It's your own, okay, so if you have a problem with the way someone does something, most of the time it's really not a problem with them. It's a problem with you. So what is wrong with your sensibilities that you can't handle someone living their life?
Unless they're being overtly offensive. But again, that's a small percentage of the people we're talking about. Yeah.
Like, there are motherfuckers out there, again, that just want to watch the world burn.
Why are you trying to be so...
Yeah.
And see, my girlfriend Zena has been having the same problem. She has a bunch of followers on Instagram. She's an artist, and she goes through and promotes her views, and she does pour paintings with resin and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And she goes through and tries to promote them. And just recently, again, everyone's getting bought out by these bigger corporations, all these small social media websites, which didn't used to, which stock used to be nothing. Now that they're worth something, they're getting bought out by these corporations that have really strict rules, and so she's not able to promote most of her stuff right now. Like, she puts out stuff and they'll say it's offensive to religious people and stuff like that. When she used once she used a quote from a song, and it had the word Lord in it. It was like Lord Elk, Lord the Elk or something like that. And they sent back that it was offensive to religious people. And it's like stuff like that I just don't get. Why the small artists is trying? They're holding back the small artists so much. They're like, unless you're family friendly, it's like that's the only way you can come up. You have to be selling a product that you can sell to kids.
But it's like I'm seeing adult things advertised through YouTube. I'm seeing things like that. And it's fucking frustrating because, are you particularly trying to snuff us out, like people like us, smaller channels like us, so you can just turn your platform into some, I
wondered about that. I saw, a Weeknd song that said ad next to it, and I was like, dude, what did they just throw $100,000 at them? They're like, well, I can't say no to that,
right?
Or do they have really good people that know the loopholes that we don't? There's a chance that we're just not well informed about this.
Yeah.
But
so let us know.
I'm not saying I mastered it and it's still bad. I'm saying that I haven't figured it out why that we're not allowed to promote anymore. It's happening on a lot of these different websites, like again Instagram, and because they were bought out by Facebook,
right? And
it took a while after their merger, I guess, for it to go their new rules to go into play, because they're a bigger company, been around longer, and they already have been through all the lawsuits. So that's what they're trying to protect themselves from, is the government coming after them and people coming after them being offended, saying that their kid killed themselves because they said something bad about a fat shaming or something. That's what they're trying to avoid. So. And with SoundCloud again, it's like I've just started on SoundCloud because I thought that was another kind of newer avenue,
right?
You know, and
well, SoundCloud's been around for forever because we've still got Headspace shit up on SoundCloud.
And it's still becoming like that. Like they don't allow the third party. They will kick you off right away. Is what I was reading. They'll ban you if you use these third party advertising.
But it's like we don't want to use the third party advertising. We want to be able to make it.
Advertising like you're allowed to put flyers up that connect people to your SoundCloud. Is that not what if you send someone else out to put the flyers up? Is that not third party advertising?
Well, no, that'd be first party. Because that's
if you sent someone else out.
Oh, well,
that's third party because that's.
Well, how are they going to know that? I think they mean like a digital third party, a service.
But what I'm saying is, where's the line there? Do you see? I
think it would be there.
That it's digital. That's not my.
I'm pissed. Let me be pissed.
No, you don't get what I'm saying.
I do get what you're saying.
Where is the moral line? There of like whether is that where is third party advertising start? Everything is third party advertising because you're not doing it yourself,
right?
You know, so I just don't see where the line of like you can go talk on blogs and send people here. You can pay people to talk on blogs to send them here, but if you use it through a third party advertising company, so it's like that means what? What does that mean? That they are they have their legal side of it. It's like not an individual. Maybe that's just because it's a company,
right?
But maybe that's just taking money from them. I'm trying to figure this out.
But even then, we could hire a physical PR firm.
And is that? But they have a website, so they live in the digital world as well.
Well, no. So what the PR firm would do
would be working.
It's public representation.
Banners and
so like fucking
flyers and stuff
like TV time and fucking.
Is that? I don't know.
But it doesn't.
I can't.
Like there has to be. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out.
That's why I came purposely ill-informed because I'm asking questions. Like I want to know the answer to these things because I don't get why. You know, I couldn't believe how bad. I was like, this is not where I'm supposed to be. They don't like
real hard. Yeah. Well, it's just like, and it's really depressing too because like we know that we're not the only YouTubers and musicians out there that are having this issue. We know that a bunch of people are pissed about this. We know that a bunch of people are dealing with blowback from this. We don't. If we weren't able to make it doing what we're trying to do right now, we'd be stuck doing construction or trying to sell drugs or just things that would not be good for us.
Yeah.
Bad things.
And that's true for everybody. Everybody should get their chance at least, you know.
Well, everyone has the chance. It's up to you or not whether you see it through. If you seize your opportunities when they come, you should have no problem with like getting close.
Well,
I mean,
being in the way of opportunity is the problem there, you know, because people are trying to keep us out of the way from running into it. You know?
Well, also, like, we allow ourselves, like, because, you know, like, how much time would we be spending working toward? Huh?
No, you do. No, I'm just getting meta. It is me. I am holding myself back all the time. It's like you have to do the footwork. Yeah. On some level, I've been thinking about that so much. Like, I have to make those flyers myself. I have to go put them up at fucking campuses and shit. And I have to walk. I have to go into clubs. I have to meet people. Mm-hmm. It's like that's been a thing that I used to do for different reasons, and I never thought I'd have to do it for the thing I loved. You know,
right?
I always thought that was a liability of that other side.
Right.
I'm being vague on purpose, but
well, it's like
I didn't want it to have to be like that, and it is, and it's fine. I'll get my footwork on then.
It's not like we don't do. It's not like we don't work for this. Every aspect of this is work. The fact that you're listening to this means that we put a lot of work in, because we have to sit, we film, we edit, we upload. It all takes fucking time and energy. Like, then this isn't the only thing that we work on. We do the podcast, we do skits, we both work on music. And we're tired of this not being what we do for a living.
For real.
And it sucks that large corporations like this have the power and like the desire to fuck us over, because they know that that's what they're doing.
Or at least offer another avenue.
Like an alternative. Because this is awful. It's bullshit. It is horse shit. This wedding is horse shit.
Yeah, I bet you guys would like the shit if you could hear it, but you can't.
You can't. There's so many of you that would enjoy this show. We're so endearing. Look at our faces. We're wearing matching track jackets.
Right?
we are best friends.
This is a different episode here.
Yeah.
I like this episode. This one's a call to action. Let's get
we got to do something. We need to get riled up about this because until we come together as a community, as all YouTubers, we need to unite against this because this is unlawful censorship in a way.
Fine, maybe there's another. I don't know.
It's just we understand that it is within their right to say what they will and will not promote, but it also infringes our right to promote our own free speech.
Creators, yeah.
Like, it's not like we're not trying to pay for it. We're trying to give them money.
Why don't you like us?
Yeah.
Albert?
Why you not liking my pie?
I don't get it. I'm entertaining, and I try hard at shit. I don't get why you don't like it.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Remember, the fucking United States of Disney. That's what we're going towards. They're getting up everything, and that's just how corporations work. The higher up they get, the more family-friendly they have to be, and the more healthy they have to be, and the more regulations they go through, and the more they're taxed and attacked by everyone. So the cleaner they have to be on paper.
Right.
And so the bigger, the more we're owned by big corporations, the more it's going to be like that. The more it's going to be vague and easy to digest.
But that doesn't help anyone, and no one really wants that.
Baby food, that's what it's gonna.
That's only a small percent of the population now, especially when the older generation starts to die out and our parents start to go.
Yeah.
Like we're what's going to be left, and again, there's only going to be a small percentage of people that are going to want to be like couch potatoes. There's a smaller percentage of people that want to be like fed the same bullshit over and over again because everyone's realizing now that the pharmaceutical industry is bullshit. Everyone's realizing that they're poisoning everyone as we get blown up. Yeah. Well, no, it's just like that's like these tides turn like this, and this almost seems like a futile grasp, and like because of course they know that there's nothing we can do about it.
Maybe it is that final grasp that we're seeing that right before
before they let go and just
right before it fell, it was the height. The buildings were the highest they'll ever be. Right before it fell, the moment before it fell, right? So it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Things like maybe this is that. Maybe maybe this is a good sign deep down. Maybe I just had a couple drinks and now.
Because this is like life throws shit at you to make sure, like to check you. We perceive it that way, or you can perceive it that way. You can look at it that way if you choose. So. Like if you choose that,
I'm not a sign guy as much. I try not to be. There's moments where I'm like, holy shit, that was weird.
Well, it's just like this would be. It's not really a sign. It's more of a test.
Yeah.
Like because it throws this at you. And what was your response to me when I called you? You were like, I think I'm done. You were like, I think I don't want to do this. Like YouTube will still be a thing we do, but it's not going to be what I pursue.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like that's what it.
It may not be my avenue. Then it may not be the thing that works.
We could make it that. Like that's the thing is like we make this shit work for us. Because like right now we're gonna tag the shit out of this. We're gonna make sure that people see this because this is important. This conversation, this conversation is extremely important because a lot of other YouTubers are having it, and you need to think about it. If you're a content creator, if you're especially a young and up and coming content creator, you got to think about this shit.
And so I just can't believe they're doing any kind of art. They're just. I feel like that's almost what it was that they. Maybe a person at the best what could have happened was someone looked at the first one, listened to it, heard some language, hit it, and then I sent back and they saw either the same artist or said hip hop. It wouldn't be the same person. It's probably not a person. What I'm saying best opportunity is that they just saw hip hop.
Well, do you think that
and
it
they assumed
flagged
that it was
you?
offensive.
Do you think that it flagged you?
That I tried one though,
And it was like no.
Like. It seems like most people that got banned were like tricking it a bunch. I don't think it's that quick to where they're like, this guy, or maybe it is. Maybe you send one, they're like, this guy's never allowed. That'd be fucked. That can't be.
Well, it's just like, you have to think about how much, like, I forget, like, 14 hours or some shit of video is uploaded to YouTube every minute.
Yeah.
It's
It
some
can't be a
absurd number.
So it's it's an automated program that does it then. So
And
I doubt it even got to the second tier. But again, why would they flag that one and not? Is there no second chances, Davey? Is this a world gone of second chance?
That's funny you mention that, because that brings up the whole James Gunn scenario to me.
Yeah.
Because he's a director. If you don't know James Gunn, he's been in the news a lot, especially in the nerd culture. If any of you guys are fucking nerds, he's the director of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and 2, and he's been a producer on all of the Marvel movies after I think he's a producer on Avengers Infinity Gauntlet and the fourth one that I'm pretty sure is going to be called Avengers Eternity. It
was still done.
Well, yeah, he was a producer on it, because he really is what made those Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Like, he set that tone.
Yeah.
And he works really close with them on their characters. Like, and he's one of the only directors that he's one of the few directors that will play, like, he has the score written or roughed out before the movie's done, like while the movie's being done, so he can play the score for the scene while they're acting it out. Like, and that's so important. Makes it more real. Like, they feel like the music helps you
how
feel.
You gonna watch it? Like, they felt the same way you were when you watch it.
So, like, he's an incredible director. Like, what he did with those two movies revolutionized sci-fi movies. Like, even if you're not a comic book fan, you can appreciate those movies as, like, incredible sci-fi adventures. Yeah. So he was fired by Disney for some old tweets that he had deleted like 8 years ago, 9 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And they were
when was this? After they bought his franchise, or?
Well, no. I think he was having like a spat with someone on Twitter or something like that. It was a journalist or something like that, like a conservative journalist, and he dug up those tweets. And like, so in his earlier career, James Gunn was kind of like a shock jock. He was like trying to shock people with his comedy, just trying to get a rise out of people,
was this in the 90s?
Which, like, basically a troll. No, this was on Twitter. So this was like 9 years ago, 9 years ago.
That is a genre. I mean, people have to understand. Again, if you don't want to be shocked, don't watch.
It's just
comedy.
A troll. He was being a troll.
In the name. Yeah,
he was a famous,
that's what that type of comedy
semi-famous dude trolling.
Yeah.
Like in the early days when you could troll people, and he deleted them when he redefined his image. So this is where we get into the second chances thing, because he had proved himself to be a good person and a good director. Like, even all the Guardians of the Galaxy, all that whole cast, they wrote a letter to Disney, like saying, like, testifying to his character, and also being like, fucking hire him back or we might not stay. I'm pretty sure Dave Bautista quit. Or he's close to it, or he's like, I don't know if I'm gonna come back. He's like, because it wouldn't make sense with anybody else. Like, and for him to be fired over such an old thing, like, and it was quick too.
And he wasn't still doing that is the issue, right? So if he was still doing this daily, I could see how they didn't want to be associated with something like that. Still comes back to our point, why not? But let's move on from it being why not. We explained why not, and now to why it is, and it's sad.
Well, it's just like, people do deserve, like, if you're able to come out of something, if you're able to see what you were doing, if you're able to get outside yourself enough to see the wrongs you were doing and move on from that, I mean, like, who is anyone else to like cause you trouble? I understand that, like, probably Disney fired him probably just to not have to deal with any of it.
They don't want association with anything not family friendly.
Right. But even then, like, these are mature-ish movies. Like,
it's not even about the films, though. They don't want to be associated with real live people. Okay, so, like, you can't you know what I'm talking about. Like, Robert
Downey Jr. is one of their biggest stars, and he was a huge addict. He was in jail for a while, and he turned himself around, and he's their cash cow.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
He bought himself in, I guess. I don't know.
Like, it was really Iron Man. So Iron Man was done by Paramount.
Where's that line then? Just like we said, how those certain adult content gets approved.
Yeah.
Like, where's that line of money to where fucking Disney will sponsor a porn. Like, where's the fucking money?
But it's super weird too that they're just not budging on it. I don't like. There's a chance they might hire him back, but Disney's probably going to stick to their guns. And that, no pun intended, James Gunn. I'm sorry. But the third one, like, because he had already finished the script, and Disney owns that script. Yeah. Like, there's a chance that, like, that entire...
They can just take the whole movie from him.
Well, they're reshooting, like, parts of Avengers 4 right now with the Guardians. So they could be just wiping them out. Yeah. And, like, they could be implementing parts of that Part 3 script into...
But if they don't use his Avengers style, 4, the movie won't work. Like, people have already seen it.
Well, they're actually talking about hiring Taika Waititi, who directed Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, okay.
And he's that Australia or New Zealand guy. He's friends. Did you see What We Do in the Shadows? Yeah. He's like the darker skinned one, the really skinny darker skinned one. That's Taika Waititi. He directed Thor Ragnarok. Okay. And he they're thinking about approaching him for it, which, like, it would work, but it's not going to be the same because James Gunn has, like, a unique eye. And, like, the fact that he bases his movies around their soundtrack is magnificent.
I love that, yeah. And it worked, is the problem. They can't go back and fix something that worked,
Exactly. Never. So what do they do now? Are they going to take chunks from that script and force it into Avengers 4 and then just completely wipe them out, fire them all, and just be done with them? But, like, that's one of their more, like, lucrative franchises.
Again, I think it's a matter of, like, younger people becoming the CEOs of these companies because they're going to exist whether we like it or not. So as the time goes on, the people will die and then younger people will come in with a new age sense of morale. Yeah. Well, and that's going to be the only thing that changes it, really, right? Unless you have the money.
Right. But it's not like James Gunn doesn't have the money to buy himself back in.
Oh, no.
But he's also probably going to stick to his James Guns.
Yeah. I don't know. They've already they've already drained him. I feel like, they couldn't make so much more from keeping him. As much morale as they're going to get from their family-friendly customers by firing him. That's keeping people involved. But
even then, no one really had to know that aspect of it. It's just because his jokes were... One of them was about rape, and I think another one was, like, about pedophilia or something like that. Yeah. And I understand that right now those are things you can't joke about, but he didn't joke about them right now. He joked about them 9 years ago. 9 years ago was different.
It's like, when you look at Jerry Seinfeld, do you think he's sexist? No. He's a great dad and has a family and shit. Hell no. But his show might have had hints of sexism and racism,
And that's Larry David, though.
Yeah, and him, though. He's a writer, too. But I'm just saying, it's like, that. I get that things move on, we should be moved on from a lot of these ideals. And the question is, should we be held accountable for our actions for life? Like, is that a thing? Are you allowed to forgive? Are you allowed to forget something about someone? Publicly or even personally?
Well, are you allowed to?
Do you allow yourself to?
Yeah. Well, another thing too would be, can you allow yourself? Yeah, to be through with those things, because the things you've done, you remember for the rest of your life, for sure. But do you have to continually pay for them?
New segment on the couch with Toby and Davey coming up next. Sit down. Tell me your problems.
But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that we're able to overcome the trespasses of our past?
It depends on the person, but I would say average. The average person holds grudges, right? Mm-hmm. So, and that's just kind of how it is. And the only way to clear yourself of any involvement would be to, not involve yourself with them.
Well, do you think people are becoming more conscious, becoming more self-aware to the point where they can notice that, like, okay, well, you are an individual and you've messed up. I know I'm an individual and I've messed up, and I don't really want anybody to treat me differently, so I'm going to choose not to treat you differently. Yeah. Do you think that people are getting more towards that, or it's always going to be half and half, fucking divine balance bullshit?
I hope that it's moving towards the former.
Or do you even think that it feels balanced as it is? But we're part of...
This is balance, absolutely. The extremes are the balance. I've always debated that, like, whether something's standing, like, is this balanced? Is this balanced to the table? You see what I'm saying? It's balanced to itself because both of its sides are to the extreme that it can handle. But this is not balanced to the table. You see what I'm saying? A lighter here and a lighter there would be balanced to the table. Okay. You know? And I've always debated that fact, whether something standing up straight was balanced or whether scales were balanced, you know? Okay. And it's scales. And so extremes
time and time again, it is scales, scales.
And they have to exist for us to exist. Like, right. Dude, this to the table is mediocrity. Yeah. You know? And that is not a type of life you want to live. And not an interesting world to be in, you know? Like, I still think we could do a lot better at defining our extremes, or even just bringing them in a little bit. Yeah. Well, that would help a lot, because then we can still find that extreme balance. You can still, because there is no agreement without disagreement. You know, the word doesn't exist. Right. Because then there just is. And that's not what we're trying to.
Things
we don't
just are, anyways. But I think it should be more
is part of life. No,
I understand, but like, no, you can still, because everyone's still going to have their differences. Everyone's still going to argue. But when it comes down to being an individual, don't tread on me.
No. Well, yeah.
It's like, okay, so as far as the James Gunn thing goes, I think they need
to jump over. I think they should shoot bombs from the balance.
Yeah. I think they should hire James Gunn back.
Okay.
I think he should be able. I think he should be able to fulfill what he was doing. Like, let him. He only had one more movie. Yeah. It's like, let him finish that, and then let him be a silent fucking producer. Like, you don't. He doesn't have to He doesn't have to be like the face of anything anymore. He doesn't have to direct any more movies. But like, he brings a flavor and a style that they need to keep things going. I mean, they could just kill them all, and then, so now, because they own X-Men and the Fantastic Four now. Yeah. So they could get rid of Guardians of the Galaxy, bring in the Fantastic Four, and then everyone's attention is going to be diverted to them instead of thinking about the final chapter that never happened with the Guardians. Or they kill them all.
I definitely wasn't saying that it was a good idea that they fired him. I was debating as we all do, personal conflicts. Yeah. Like, and for sure, I was just explaining why I understood that they did that, and why things are coming more like that, and that's something that can only die off. That's the only change we're truly going to see. You know, years after death. Yeah. You know? Hopefully not our own. Man. That's all we can hope for.
Well, in summary,
dark and depressing.
Yeah. In summary, we fuck Google AdSense. Fuck Google AdWords.
I'm not gonna fully say that yet, even though I was the one who said that originally. If you show me,
you just left me out here.
Second chances.
You're gonna leave me out here to die, Toby.
Second chances, David. We were just talking about second chances,
and you throw me under the bus like that.
No. I'm always playing the devil's advocate, so I'm gonna give a second chance. If you show me a way, if you can show me that you're better than this.
Yeah, well, I'm always down for being able to play the system. Like, and Google AdSense, if you come and you give us an alternative, if you give us a way to actually promote our material, because we deserve to be able to make a living, right? Doing what we love. Is that not what we're allowed to do as human beings? Are you taking that away from us? Are you doing that? And well, it's people infringing on us, man. Like, don't you want to fucking stop doing construction? Don't you want to do stuff that makes you happy and make money doing that? And like move to fucking outside of Portland on like a small piece of land and transport it into Portland. No, I'm heated. I'm getting satisfied.
Yeah, it's on fire right now.
Yeah, and also the whole James Gunn thing. We believe that people do deserve second chances if you can actually prove yourself.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah,
let's see what you do with your second chance then. And then maybe you get third, but this one's serious now. Yeah. And then that fourth one's like, I don't care about that fourth one, but fifth one is I'm pissed.
Yeah, get your shit together, Donald. But now we're gonna tell you guys a bit about where we're headed. we've got some things in motion.
We know what's gonna happen.
Well, we don't know particularly, but we've got hopes.
Things we're working on.
Yeah,
yes, for sure.
We've got wheels in motion. We're going to what can we? Because I don't want to get thrown under the bus again.
No,
what I don't want to get in trouble.
Simply, we just want to. We're teaming up. We're teaming up as a family, and we're gonna make all our media together. All of our different lifestyles put through color and sound.
Yes, and print. Where we're going to form a conglomerate.
But yeah, it's just gonna be fun, fucking new media, fresh as hell, everything.
Yeah,
like it's just gonna be. I want everybody's idea. I want everybody to throw in that I've ever met. Mm-hmm. Like I want my next person that I meet on the side of the road to design a shirt.
Right. Like, okay. So we are starting a.
That's family. That's a worldwide family getting on it.
Yeah.
WWF.
That's not the name of it. We're not going to tell you the name yet because we want to copyright them first. We are starting we're starting a conglomerate, but the subsidiaries of that conglomerate are going to consist of a media company, a film company,
which will handle just our podcasts and skits and whatever comes to mind.
Whatever videos we make, or people who want to join us and join our company, any videos they make. There will be we're starting a music division. We're going to
that's number one.
Combine our studios and combine our workflow. We will be making a publishing company. We're gonna start a publishing company.
Yeah, dude. Me and my girl work on graphic novels and short stories and a couple comic books that are kind of cool. But I love the graphic novel area.
Yeah,
I'd love to do a comic book with you too.
Yeah,
I know you love comic books.
I do.
I love writing. So yeah, that's the other side. And
my wife also is going to be writing a book. She also does poetry. She also writes poetry that we'll publish. We're also starting a clothing line, and that falls into our other aspect, and that will be a charity.
Yeah.
We haven't worked out all of the logistics yet, but the percentage of the proceeds from our clothing company will go to either clothing, feeding, or both underprivileged American children.
Yeah, start close, expand out. Mm-hmm. Do what you can. But I'm just, dude, I don't know. I'm fed up with everybody begging, myself included. And I don't know, let's take a step towards us being the giver.
Yeah, but
the giving tree.
No, not a name. But we will. Fuck, Toby, you shouldn't have said anything about begging because I'm about to tell them, but we're gonna ask for money. But as soon as we
get, I wasn't saying that. I'm talking about just a decision within yourself,
right?
To stop begging and start giving, no matter what you got,
right?
You empty your pockets. That's what it's called.
Do that shit.
Empty your pockets. It's aggressive charity.
Yes.
Towards healing aggressive forms of cancer. Yes.
That's not even what we're doing, but that could be something. It's a good idea. Copyright Toby and Davey. It's on film. Can't do anything about it.
Somebody's like, what?
That does not work.
Can't just say it and own it.
Yeah.
It has to go on paper now, don't you know?
We wrote it down.
And it was stamped by a notary. Don't you remember our friend Fred the notary?
Fred the notary. It doesn't rhyme, and that's how you remember it.
You just remember you think notary, you think Fred.
Yeah.
That's how I remember.
But yeah, so
full name Frederick. I'm just trying to shut up.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things that we're working on right now. So, and we're also going to be trying to put out as much fucking content as possible. And we're stepping it up, so you guys step it up with us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit us up on Twitter. We are at TDavy, TDAVVY. And we are also on Facebook at TDavy, or you can just search Toby and Davy.
When he said, you were like, hook up, and I was like, hook us up with weed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought you were leaning a different way.
Well, hook us up with weed too.
Yeah, tell us what your life's like backwards.
Yeah, start at your death. Sing your own. What is that? What is your?
And
what is
your
death?
You can't film it for us and show us a backwards video. You have to film your life backwards.
What's your death song called? What is that called? Requiem. Yes. Yeah. Play us your Requiem backwards. Go from death to birth. Don't leave anything out. We'll be able to tell.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, hit us up. Let us know what you think. We love you guys. We'll be back to doing this every week now. We're back on the grind. So.
Boom. Love you. Let's keep going.
Goodbye.
Keep learning.
Keep learning. Keep earning. What is it? What does it say?
Hustle hard.
Hustle hard. Play hard.
Yeah.
Play hard. That's right. Track jackets. Bye, guys. Tell them bye. Trackets.
Bye.
Feeling yellow with Pikachu. Let me take a peek at you. With electric, no fucking roof. Cocaine all yellow with Pikachu. Got the city on fire, call the marshal. I just got a parcel.